I'm going to sort of ask you this again just because people have been asking.
Okay.
I think you have just answered it, but I
Okay.
wonder if there's anything that you would just bring out
Sure.
again even to
Okay.
say what's really different, would you say? I think you have more or less said it, but if
Well,
you
so
could
I would
just
say
a
that
few things.
I mean, first of all, as I said, the differences in generative coaching are, number one, because you're doing something new, you cannot know the destination. So we're really navigating into
Yes.
it's sort of a whole new territory.
Yes.
How do we navigate the unknown?
Yes.
Number two, to be creative, to be generative, you need to be in a generative state and have a generative relationship. So
And that's a whole skill set
That's
of
a
its own,
whole
isn't
skill
it?
set.
That you teach on the program.
exactly,
don't
and how
you,
to
in
maintain
great
that.
depth.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, it's often easy for people to be in a generative state
Yeah.
when, things are easy.
Yeah.
But it's when
Yes.
you're really facing some of the big challenges.
Yeah.
Most of the time,
Yeah.
what happens is that people go into what we call survival strategies.
Yeah.
What we, in the terms of generative coaching, we call it a crash state. I'm
Crash state.
contracted, reactive. Basically, that's available to me is to either attack,
Yeah.
run away,
Yeah.
freeze, or fold.
Yeah.
And none of those are generative.
Yes.
Is the problem.
Yes.
But oftentimes when we're dealing with the unfamiliar, the uncertain, the dangerous, the risky, that's what we do. So in generative coaching, we're really developing the skill set
Yes.
of, certainly how to do it in yourself, but how to support that in others.
Yes, and develop it
And
and kind of
develop it.
grow it as an ongoing
Exactly.
resource in life.
And another part of generative coaching, again, as we were sort of saying before, is that it's also about working with a field. And the
Yes.
notion of a field is that the field isn't here, it's not here, it's not there.
Yeah,
It's
something
between us, but it's also
Yeah,
our
yeah.
relationship with the larger systems of which we're part. We emphasize the notion of
Yes.
whole on in the generative coaching work, which is I'm whole, but I'm made up of other wholes. I'm part of a
Yes.
bigger whole.
Yes.
And then finally, this notion of how we work with obstacles. That obstacles, that rather than see them, rather than see negative states as
Yes.
something negative,
Yes.
we're actually seeing them as an essential part
Yes.
of this generative process.
There's a kind of welcoming in a
Yes.
way, isn't there, of the obstacle and of the problem.
Yeah.
There's a welcoming into that generative space.
Exactly.
Yes.
And then I think the other difference that makes a difference in generative coaching is that instead of looking at technique, because generative change is something that has to be
Yes.
sustained through time, we put the emphasis on practice.
Yes.
So practices that support a conscious life.
Yeah. Yeah.